Living so much in the world, you forget self. As we understand that Romans chapter 12, verse 2 says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Renewing of the mind is a process of changing how you think, shifting from old negative patterns to a healthier perspective. In the spiritual context, it means replacing worldly habits with the Most High's truth, leading to personal transformation. The self is the conscious, unified identity that makes you who you are. It encompasses your personality, memories, thoughts, and awareness. Psalms chapter 139, verse 23 and 24 says, "Search me, God, and know my heart. Point out anything in me that offends you, and lead me along the path of everlasting life." A lot of us forget ourselves. We even put others before ourselves. You know, I recognize that. But it's natural being a parent to do that, you know. It's not hard for a mother to put her children before herself. But it is mothers that put themselves before their children. I saw that too in my life. Like with me, like growing up, it was this woman that had a lot of kids, and they called the kids, they didn't even call them by name because she had so many kids. And I couldn't understand why she had a lot of kids. And she was dressed up real nice, but her children looked homeless. I couldn't understand that concept. It blew my mind. But they called them by her name. They called them Ursha kids because her name was Ursha. And I was young in the projects just watching this. But then as I thought about it, you know, I don't know. I can't judge. Well, all I know, she had a lot of kids, and they called them Ursha kids. But I know she dressed better than her kids, okay? And when I saw that, I vowed to myself, that'll never be me. And I put my kids before myself. I love my kids. But you know, God shows us things of what not to do in our life as we grow up, though. And that's one thing that I did not do. You know, He put a lot of things in my life of what not to do. He showed me. Especially growing up in the hood, you see a lot of things, you know. But most definitely, my grandma, she raised all her grandkids. And I was one of them. All her grandkids in one house. She had 3 bedrooms. All her grandkids. And I see that my grandma, you know, she wanted to make sure that her grandkids was taken care of. My mom worked a lot, you know. I knew to go to my grandma's house so I wouldn't be alone, you know. My aunties lived with my grandma with her kids. You know, my grandma took care of her family. That's how we live. Living 9, sleeping 9 in the bed, 8 in the bed. Get your feet off me, get your feet off me, get your feet off me. That's how we lived growing up. But I love my grandma so much because she taught me. But as I looked at, I learned to be selfless because my grandma was selfless. But she did forget about herself. She loved her family so much. She forgot self. And I say that because I had to look back on where did I get that from, because I started turning into, once my kids got grown, I started turning into a people pleaser, pleasing everybody, Nothing was being reciprocated, but I never expected nothing. That was just me, But I understood that my kindness was taken for weakness. So I had to pour my energy back. And when you forget self, man, it's so hard to pour back into yourself. Like now, it ain't as hard, it's getting easier for me. I be feeling like I'm selfish sometimes, but it's not. We need that for ourselves. To love on ourselves, and not look for outside validation or outside people to love us, You see how they treated you when you gave that love to them. You know what I'm saying? So why not pour it back into you? Especially for the ones that's not deserving. So when I cut that iron off, I recognized what I was doing. Then I thought about it. Like, dang, I had to heal them abandonment issues too. I didn't want to be alone. But I knew how to be alone. I was always a loner growing up. I only had a few friends. But it was just a lot of people that knew me though, But at the same time, it's lessons that we all have to learn, We have to understand that it's okay to spend time by yourself, I used to have family saying, she only think about herself, she's selfish, or you change, and all, you get all of that when you start pouring into yourself. But it's okay, and don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. That's even part of healing yourself. Taking that time to yourself, understanding yourself. Like, as I think, I'm like, okay, I used to like painting. I started painting. I used to love doing my puzzles. Start doing my puzzles. I got time for myself to do the things that I like to do versus Hey, you gonna come hang out and do a barbecue? Hey, you gonna do this, do this, do this? Hey, you gonna do this, do this? No. I silenced my life, and I'm grateful for silence in my life. Because now I have time for myself, time to think, and think about what legacy I'm gonna build for myself and my family. You know, but now I'm at peace. I'm grateful that I silenced my phone. So now my mind is silenced. I got clarity. There's no fog. I know that what direction I'm headed in my life. I know what I want, and I know what I don't want. And I ask the Most High to help me help myself. And that's what He's doing. Helping me help myself. And I'm grateful just to stay in the flow. I don't worry about tomorrow. I don't worry about next month like I used to. That's gone. I focus on today. Each day I wake up, I'm grateful. Grateful to see how my day gonna unfold for me. And that's living in the moment. You know, it's a lot of people that can't do that. You know, it's a lot of people, boy, they be in that phone and be right next to someone they can talk to. Like, if I ever have a man like that, but I won't. But I see it. And when I find my kids doing that when we out together, I tell them, stay aware. Put that phone down. It's more than just that phone. That's why they built it, to distract us of our lives. Think about it. Learn to remember self. Give yourself time to sit in the quiet and think. Talk to God. Just silence your mind. Me, I try to do it at least 40 minutes. You know, 5 minutes I feel ain't enough for me. I like the 40 minutes. I mean, because you know, a lot of people, they overthinkers. And when you overthink, I mean, you really need to silence your mind. Because that's how I was. I no longer overthink anymore. That leads to anxiety. Meditation is the best way. Meditation and prayer. I love it. It keeps me balanced. Because I was one of those 0 to 100 real quick. Real quick. I was one of those. But now, can't let the enemy win. I recognize that devil energy now. He would not suck up all my good energy. Ashe.